How you doing, everybody? My name is Dr. Sami Baya. Please welcome back to my YouTube channel. The chosen one can communicate with angels and ancestors. The chosen ones. That is the title of this video. The idea of a chosen one who can communicate with angels and ancestors is a fascinating concept that appears in various cultures and mythologies. In many belief systems, this chosen individual, this chosen person is endowed with special abilities or insights that enable them to bridge the gap between the earthly realm and the divine or spiritual realm. The concept of the chosen one communicating with angels and ancestors often stems from religious or mythological narratives. In many belief systems, the chosen one is seen as a special individual selected by a higher power for a significant purpose. This purpose could involve guiding or leading others, bringing about change, or fulfilling a prophecy. Communicating with angels and ancestors can be seen as part of the chosen one's connection to the divine or spiritual realm. Angels are often viewed as messengers or intermediaries between humans and the divine, while ancestors represent a link to the past and collective wisdom. The chosen one's ability to communicate with these beings might signify their elevated spiritual awareness or their role as a conduit between the earthly realm and the supernatural. It can also serve as a source of guidance, wisdom, and support as they navigate their path and fulfill their destiny. Overall, the chosen one's communication with angels and ancestors symbolizes their special connection to the divine and the guidance they receive in fulfilling their purpose. Communicating with angels suggests a connection to higher spiritual beings, often associated with guidance, protection, and enlightenment. Angels are believed to be messengers of the divine, conveying wisdom and assistance to those who are receptive to their presence. On the other hand, communicating with ancestors implies a connection to one's lineage and heritage. Many cultures believe that ancestors continue to exist in some form after death and can offer guidance, protection, and blessings to their living descendants. Communication with ancestors often involves rituals, prayers, or meditation practices aimed at establishing a connection and receiving their wisdom. So the chosen one, therefore, serves as a conduit between these spiritual realms and the human world, acting as a mediator, interpreter, or channel for messages, insights, and guidance from angels and ancestors. So this archetype is common in mythology, literature, and religious narratives, reflecting humanity's perennial fascination with the supernatural and the divine. Now, the concept of the chosen one communicating with angels and ancestors is often steeped in mythology, spirituality, and various belief systems. While strategies can vary widely depending on cultural, religious, or personal beliefs, in this video I'll give you some common methods that might be associated with such communication. So, communicating with angels and ancestors can take many forms and may vary depending on cultural, spiritual, and personal beliefs. So in this video, I'm giving you possible ways the chosen one might connect with these spiritual entities. Number one, through prayer and meditation. Many individuals believe that prayer and meditation are powerful ways to connect with angels and ancestors. By quieting the mind and opening oneself to spiritual guidance, they may receive messages or insights. Again, the other way the chosen one might connect with these spiritual entities, that is, communicate with angels and ancestors, is through rituals and ceremonies. Rituals and ceremonies are often used to create a sacred space and invoke the presence of angels and ancestors. This could involve lighting candles, burning incense, or performing specific actions believed to facilitate communication. The other way the chosen one can communicate with angels and ancestors is through divination. Divination tools such as tarot cards, runes, or pendulums are sometimes used to seek guidance from angels and ancestors. These tools are believed to provide insights into one's life path and connect the individual with spiritual energies. The other way chosen one can communicate with angels and ancestors is through dream work. Dreams are seen as a common channel for communication with the spiritual realm. The chosen one may actively seek messages from angels and ancestors through dreams or practice techniques to enhance dream recall and interpretation. The chosen one can communicate with angels and ancestors through offerings and altar work. Creating altars and offering items such as food, water, or flowers is a way to honor and connect with angels and ancestors. The chosen one may regularly make offerings as a form of communication and gratitude. The other way the chosen one can communicate with angels and ancestors is through channeling and mediumship. Some individuals claim to have the ability to channel message directly from angels and ancestors. This could involve entering a trance state or allowing the spiritual entities to communicate through them. The chosen one can communicate with angels and ancestors through spending time in nature, through that nature connection. It is believed when they spend time with nature, it facilitates a connection with the spiritual realm. The chosen one may seek guidance while walking in the wilderness, sitting by a sacred tree, or meditating in a natural setting. The chosen one can communicate with angels and ancestors through sacred texts and symbols. They study sacred texts and symbols associated with angels and ancestors. This can deepen one's understanding and facilitate communication. The chosen one may use these texts and symbols as focal points for meditation or contemplation. Again, the chosen one can communicate with angels and ancestors through intuition and inner guidance. Many believe that the most profound communication with angels and ancestors comes from within. The chosen one may develop their intuition and inner guidance through practices such as mindfulness, self-reflection, and listening to the still voice within. Now, the other ways that the chosen one can communicate with angels and ancestors is quieting the mind to listen for messages or guidance, speaking directly to angels or ancestors with reverence and intention, that is, through prayers. The chosen one can perform ceremonial acts to honor and invoke spiritual beings, that is, the rituals. The chosen one can pay attention to dreams for messages or visitations. They use tools like tarot cards to seek guidance. They connect with the natural world to feel closer to spiritual realms. Lighting candles with specific intentions to attract angelic or ancestral presence. Using symbols associated with angels or ancestors. Allowing messages to flow through writing without conscious control. Creating a dedicated space to honor angels and ancestors with offerings, that is, altar work. Holding meals in honor of ancestors to invite their presence. Those are ancestral feasts. The chosen one, they communicate with the angels and ancestors through chanting or mantras, that is, repeating sacred sounds or phrases to invoke higher energy. Traveling outside the body to explore spiritual realms. There's also sacred dancing, that is, moving the body in a ritualistic manner to connect with higher powers. There's also channeling, allowing angels or ancestors to speak through the chosen one. There's also the tarot journaling, reflecting on tarot readings to discern messages from spiritual beings. Drawing or visualizing symbols associated with angelic forces. The chosen one can communicate with angels and ancestors by harnessing the energies of earth, air, fire, and water to commune with spirits. They can also use sacred tobacco as a gift to communicate with ancestors in some traditions. The chosen one can also cultivate intuitive abilities to perceive angelic or ancestral guidance. They can use techniques to connect with spiritual energies for healing. The chosen ones can also communicate with angels and ancestors through sacred baths, that is, cleansing rituals involving water and herbs to purify and connect with higher realms. The chosen ones can write requests or prayers and burn them as offerings to higher powers. They can also participate in rhythmic group activities to raise energy and commune with spirits. So the chosen ones can work with plant allies to enhance spiritual connections and communication. They can act as a conduit for message between the living and the spirit world, listening to or creating music with spiritual intent to elevate consciousness. Leaving offerings of food, water, or other items to honor elemental spirits is also a way the chosen ones use to communicate with angels and ancestors. Setting up altars specifically dedicated to honoring one's ancestors, that is, ancestral altars. Now, sometimes the chosen ones, they can burn herbs like cedar to cleanse and invite spiritual presence. Sometimes the chosen ones can purify one's energy field to create a clearer channel for spiritual connection. They can create art inspired by visions or messages received from angels or ancestors. They can also move the body freely and rhythmically to induce altered state of consciousness. They can also pour out liquids as offerings to honor and communicate with spirits. Sometimes the chosen ones perform ceremonies to invoke blessings from angels or ancestors. Now, those are the many ways that the chosen one can communicate with angels and ancestors. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Feel free to drop your comments. Let's share this information. Let's always learn. Remember, learning is the superpower. Thank you. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel.